Hello, my good people. Thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Those that have not yet subscribed, kindly go ahead and subscribe. This channel gives you information that is very powerful. So today I'd like to talk about International English Language Testing System, the tips that I used in order to pass this examination, and the tips that, of course, you'll apply to your examination and get a band 7 and above. Yes, so IELTS is categorized into two. There is general module and academic module. General module is used for immigration purposes. For people who want to migrate to English-speaking countries such as the UK, the US, Canada, Australia, you'll do general IELTS. And another module is academic IELTS. For people who want to pursue undergraduate and postgraduate studies in English-speaking countries, yes, and also for certification purposes for professionals such as doctors, nurses, and medical laboratory technologies, you will need to do academic IELTS. So IELTS has 4 components or 4 testing areas. We have listening, we have reading, we have writing and speaking. So tips are used in listening. Of course, you have to be a keen listener. You have to look for the keywords in that conversation. You keep listening in case you missed a conversation. You find that IELTS listening, you given a conversation between 2 people who are talking about a certain thing, and you are required to answer questions about what they are talking about. They are testing your ability to listen and understand and comprehend what they are talking about. So in case you miss a conversation, you don't have time to go back. You cannot replay the conversation and answer the question. You cannot replay it. So if you missed a certain conversation, just continue listening. Don't panic. Don't switch off. Yes. And another tip is that you need to practice. Of course, you practice by listening and watching to videos, movies, vlogs like these ones. Yes. So those are a few listening tips that I applied when I was doing my examination. And then we have writing tips. Of course, writing is divided into 2. We have task 1 and task 2. So tips for task 1. Of course, task 1, first you'll be asked to describe a chart, a graph, a table, or a diagram. If you did Cambridge English, the UK English, the British English that we did in Kenya, we used to have such a thing in our English examination. We are being given a chart or a graph of let's say motor vehicles in Kenya, or comparing types of motor vehicles in Kenya. That is what you'll be given in task 1. So you have to read the question carefully. You have to make sure you understand what they are asking. Of course, the thing is, you have to paraphrase the topic into your own words. That is now the introduction part. Like if you are told compare motor vehicles in Nairobi between 2000 and 2005. So you have to reintroduce the topic in your own words. Like this is the following diagram shows comparison of motor vehicles in Nairobi between 2000 to 2005. You try making it your own words, not exactly the topic words that they have used, but your own words. And then, of course, you use paragraph to give an overview summary of what you've observed, and then describe the most significant features. If there was an increase a certain year, describe that. If there was a decrease, a significant decrease. Of course, this you'll be given so much information in those charts and those graphs. So you don't describe everything. You just describe the most significant features that you think can give impact, or that you think the examiner is looking for. Yes, and kindly do not give your opinions, do not give your recommendations. The examiner is looking at your ability to write and to give a description on a certain thing, or a diagram, or a table, or a chart. So don't give your opinion on recommendation. So in writing tip task 2, of course, this one you'll be given several outline. You can be told to discuss to what extent you agree or disagree to a topic. You can be told to solve a problem, like a problem and a solution, or there's this problem, now discuss the problem and the solution. Yes, that's another a topic you can be given. Now, when you are told to discuss the extent to agree or disagree, of course, this one you write both agreeing and disagreeing. One paragraph you say why you agree, and another paragraph you say why you disagree. And then after that you give a conclusion, a summary of your discussion. Yes, and when you are given a question, like a problem and a solution question, of course you give the reason for the problem and you offer solution. Here you are allowed to offer the solution and even recommendation, because they want to see your writing skills. Yes, and then you give the conclusion of that topic. Yes. So we go to reading. Of course, the reading tips that I applied was skimming and scanning through the topic, and of course reading and understanding the instructions, and reading and understanding the text, and finding the answer by quickly reading through the text. You can quickly read through the text for you to find the answer that you're looking at, and mind you, you underline the key words that you think that could be the answer, and then you go back to the text and read again. Yes, just like the British English we did in Kenya. If you are Kenyan, the British English we did in Kenya, the paragraph that we used to be given, we read and answer the question. That is exactly what will be brought in the reading part of this examination. Yes. So another thing is you practice how to read. You can read a storybook. You can read the Bible or something. Just practice on how to read. We go to the speaking tips. Of course, speaking tips, most of us do not have really have speaking tips, especially because of personality and thinking that you're not good enough, and of course, not being brought up in an English-speaking country. The tips that I used here is I practiced in the mirror. I stood in front of a mirror and was practicing and talking about a certain topic, and I recorded myself during speaking. I also spoke slowly and also thought of what I was talking about to be able to know if I've made any grammatical errors, and then also trying to use complex synonyms. You use desert instead of abandon. You use qualified instead of able. You use accomplish instead of achieve. Yes. And then you also organize what you want to talk about into points. Of course, they'll give you like 2 minutes. They'll ask you something like describe your favorite toy, and you'll organize what you want to talk about. Of course, here you can talk about the color of the toy, the year that you had it, who gave it to you, why is it important to you, or why do you remember it? Yes, so that one will give you points to talk about. Yes, they'll give you like 2 minutes to talk about your favorite toy. So you have really to organize what you want to talk about. And then another thing is time management. This exam is 2 hours, 40 minutes. You have to organize your time well. The writing exam is 60 minutes. So you'll spend 20 minutes in task 1 and 40 minutes in task 2. The listening exam is 30 minutes plus 10 minutes to transfer your answers. The reading exam is 60 minutes. And remember, guys, between writing, listening, and reading, there is no break. You do it like back to back. So you will be tired. You will be confused. You kindly do not panic. Yes, do not panic if you didn't do well in writing or in listening or in reading. Kindly go to the next phase of the examination and perfect it. And then, of course, speaking is normally done on a later time, usually early in the morning or in the afternoon. So it's normally around 20 minutes. You can finish in less time. Apply those tips. The most important thing is to apply those tips to manage your time well, to avoid panicking. Why is IELTS important? Of course, IELTS is important in order for you to be issued a visa screen certificate by the CGFNS. Yes, for medical practitioner who wants to work in the US, you must have a visa screen certificate. And for you to get a visa screen certificate, you must do your IELTS. Yes. And the assessment also shows that you can express yourself in English. Hence, you can easily cope in the English-speaking countries when you go there for academic or when you go there for work. The required band for visa screen for registered nurses is an overall of 6.5 and 7 in speaking. And for medical laboratory technologists, it's 6.5 overall and 7 in speaking. Thank you guys for listening to me. Kindly like, subscribe, and share my YouTube channel. And I will really appreciate. And if you feel that IELTS is too difficult for you, there is other choices like TOEFL and PTE examination. Yes, subscribe, like, share my YouTube channel to your friends, to your colleagues. Thank you. See you on the next